Welcome back to Week of the Wicked. Last time we played Ebe, and now we play Ebe again. And I'm thinking we're gonna be wrapping up the game today. There's not, as I said last time, it's not too big of a game, right? Just a number of hours for you to play and beat. It depends on what you're going for. Yeah. And I said last time we might do the additional content off to the side towards the end, but I think I'm going to hold off on that. I think I'm going to leave that not played here to incentivize a potential viewer to go pick up the game themselves, because it's a really great game. I want to show this and get people playing it. There's also multiple endings, I said also, and that might be something you're interested in. But I wanted to, have an actual conclusion, a concluded game or series in Week of the Wicked, because I played Fight Night and I'm playing SMT, and those are going to go beyond Week of the Wicked, so I wanted something for me to finish here. Give me one sec to check if I am live, because I need to do some typical checks, but I want to do my intro first, so give me 1 second. Okay, yes, I am indeed live, and I'm assuming sound is all good because I balanced my sound pretty decently last time and I have all the same settings, same scene, everything, so we're good. And on that topic, I guess I did not realize last time that this game's aspect ratio is a little odd. Like, some of the stuff to the right of the screen is off of it, and like there's a bit of a black line at the bottom. You probably don't even notice it on your end, but on my end, I can kind of see that's probably not a big deal though. So I thought I'd mention that real quick. Okay, now I did not stream yesterday. I wanted to stream every single day on Week of the Wicked, but some things came up, so apologies for that. Because I didn't stream yesterday, streaming right now, I might come back later, actually, later today or later tonight, because it's middle of the night for me. Might come back a little bit later to play Fight Night again, because I think it's a decent structure for our Week of the Wicked here. Is I play these 3 games, SMT, Ebe, and Fight Night, do 2 episodes each, because I plan on coming back tomorrow to play SMT, do another episode of that. I know I did say that I might not stream on the 31st, even though technically, by the time I stream tomorrow, it'll probably be after the 31st. This is the 31st technically right now, it's technically past midnight for me, but because of my shitty sleep schedule, it's basically still the 30th for me, so whatever. But I did say my friend's having a Halloween party tomorrow, I might not stream, but I'm thinking I'll go to the party, come back, and stream basically in the middle of the night. It won't be Halloween anymore technically, but I don't really care. So yeah, that's I think that's my game plan. Now let me check up on my notes, my titular notes, as to what else I need to talk about. Okay, yeah. I actually have with me right now some apple cider, because I think it's very fitting for the season, around this time, I think as early as maybe December, or not December, September, some of the places around where I live, they start making up cider and donuts, got good deals for them. So yeah, I think when I played Ebe a year or 2 ago, I actually sat down with some cider and played it. It's a really nice time. Really, really good stuff. So I might take a few sips of that during the stream. Now I think maybe we can start talking about Ebe. Last time when we played the game, we started things off in a gallery, nice and quaint setup for the game, and then everybody went missing, and then the gallery turned into a weird horror land world, I don't know what to call it. We met Gary, who was a really cool dude, very awesome, and then eventually we met Mary, or is it Marie? I think it's Mary. It kind of trips me up because it's like similar, Mary and Gary, they rhyme, so I'm thinking like, would they name 2 characters that rhyme that seamlessly? But whatever, I think it's Mary. But yeah, Mary, we also met, rather mysterious character. Let's see what their deal is later down the line. We solved some puzzles along the way, but eventually we got separated from each other, so Gary is here on his own. Let me continue the game. from, I believe, this save file. Yeah, Gary's on his own, like this. But we can actually switch between Gary's perspective and Eve's perspective with Mary. Actually, talk with Mary. Oh, I bored this, but yeah, she said that last time. I'm not sure if we're supposed to start with Gary and do stuff here, or start with Eve and Mary. But let's see. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to mention is that now we're at Gary's perspective. The menu. Look at this! Gary pause screen. It's very nice attention to detail, especially considering this is a temporary section of the game. You know, you get his own pause screen here. It looks really nice. He's got the blue rose as usual. And he's got such a cool design. Very distinct as well. God, this game just looks and sounds really nice. It's very, very cool. It does, I don't want to talk smack on other horror RPG games that may have been inspired by this one, but I don't think they really top this one, for instance, because a lot of them use like pre-made assets and the sort, and it's like, it kind of brings it down for me when I very clearly hear stock library sound effects or sprites and the sort. I really want people to get out there and just make something, put it out there, you know, have their own style, even if it's shitty, you know. Some people, I think, I don't think I've played Suits, but there's a game called Suits, and somebody just, like, you know, drew stuff on paper, like, even as shoddy as possible, whatever, scanned it in, and put it in their game. It's really, really distinct. So I guess also Off is a little similar to that as well. But at first I think I thought that Off and Suits were made by the same person, just because it's kind of a similar style between the two. But no, apparently different developers. Anyways, yeah, I'm not sure how long this is actually gonna go for. I want to say we're at like a decent halfway point when we started, but I don't know. Put the ball in here. There's the doll the freaking doll that I hate. Marvelous Night. We go in here. No keyholes either way. Fishing hook. Question mark. Voice comes from the painting. Oh yes, I remember this. Oh, I forgot. Okay, I could very well reload my save to nix that. What kind of room is this? I'm gonna watch out for that strange gas coming from the floor. Yeah, I can't cross there yet. Don't have strange and cold. Yeah, something's telling me that we might not be able to do anything as Gary right now, not quite yet. Let me check up on Eve's perspective. Because we do have a room of our own, actually. That's probably a hub for a bunch of puzzles. Honeycomb room. A mouth. Is it a mouth? Tattletale. This one's locked. Fisherman, but there's nobody there though. Yeah, that's quite the reoccurring pattern here. Is a bunch of what seems to be unfinished paintings. And oh, I remember the other painting said 2 fish, and Gary's like, oh, but there's only 1. That's probably the other one. Lady without her umbrella. Sharp end, looks like it hurt. And Mary has like a lot of distinct dialogue here. Be on the lookout for an umbrella. Maybe give that in the door. Writing appeared on the mirror. Answer with the name of the painting. Correct, I'll open the door. What will it be? I guess wrong. Don't Mary. Just the names of paintings, right? Sounds fun, let's do it. I get it wrong. Dot 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 dot. I think we can come back later. I wonder if this is like a memorization game, like we're supposed to Either memorize these or memorize. You're at full health, so I probably shouldn't worry too much about the punishment here. Okay, in case these are the ones that we have to memorize. Skin and bones, perhaps? Tattletale. Worry. Right, okay. Take the challenge. Of that painting. I don't know. Oh shit. I wonder if it's on Gary's side also, if we have to go to Gary's side and take that information. I very well could be wrong. A shame. Ouch. Go look for that painting, it might be around somewhere. Okay, maybe it is. Alright, Heavenly Thread. That's what it is. Free. Tattletale. Skin and Bones. Fisherman. Heavenly Thread. Correct. There's more. This strata death stairs vortex belief. Oh no. This one wasn't at the top wall. I like the word strata, so why not? Yeah. It wasn't in here. It might be on Gary's side, or it might be back here. I'll check just in case. And I should remind myself to keep using the e-talk function, because that will actually be important later. But not quite right now. Okay, maybe I'll check Gary's side quick. Aha, it is on Gary's side. Depth. Marvelous Night. Oh, oops, I forgot about that. I can always reload or save though if I'm close to dying, because I haven't made any substantial progress so far. Heavenly Thread, right? Making sure. Oh no, it actually continues. Okay, depths. Oh, there's just 2 questions, okay. And the door. Roll the paper. Roll it. The painting. The painting of. Would there be any punishment for taking it when we're not supposed to? Probably not. Works of Cortana, number 1. Contains paintings by Cortana, but organized by letter. L. Red. Said that Cortana based this on a lover he had at that time, but he has denied this claim. With Cortana based around the blank women who attempted to blank him inheritance. The blank fish. Those numbers are important after the title. Though grayscale, this curious piece makes clever use of shading and angles to give the impression of color. Yeah, that is actually an interesting phenomenon where if you take like a pixel-like image and you zoom out, it kind of like, to your eye, it looks like those colors are melding together and mixing to create a different color. I mean, same idea with like converging wavelengths of light. The blank detail put into even the scales blank is a wide variety of emotions. Juggling. 6223. Aha, this is probably the code we need on Gary's end. So 6223. Work based on a juggler Guertena saw at the circus with his grandchild. Also, that's yeah, is that supposed to be the date, the year? Because if so, that's interesting to have like the accepted calendar of this universe just be something completely different from our own. You know, the year is 6,000 something, but everything else is rather comparable to our own world. But yeah, 6223. Unless that's not a date and it's just some kind of like serial number for the paintings. If so, if he's made over 6,000 pieces of artwork, that's quite impressive. I wonder if there's a Guinness World Record for that. I don't know. You could call anything a piece of artwork, I guess. Like, oh, you just cracked a pencil in half. Oh, that's a piece of art right there, you know? There's a big discussion you go therein about what is art and what isn't. It's quite the can of worms, I must say. Work based on a juggler Guertena saw at the circus with his grandchild. Yeah, Guertena has a grandchild, apparently. That might be important for his backstory, I don't know. But apparently he was an old dude and then eventually died, because we know he's currently dead. It's extremely rare for Guertena to use real people as models. This piece is highly valuable. Right, 622. I'm going to do that real quick so I don't forget. Doesn't make sense diegetically for these pieces of information to be transferred between perspectives, but you don't question it. Video game logic. Correct. Unless Gary, for some reason, just knows the year or serial number for each of these paintings. That gets automatically added here. There might be 2, 3, 4 more or so. Is there anything else in the room? Yes, there was. A girl's demise. Once upon a time, there was a little girl. The girl went to an art gallery with her parents. But all of a sudden, the girl realized that she was lost. Sounds a little familiar. He searched through the dim gallery, but found neither her parents nor the exit. Scared, helpless, lonely, hungry, and thirsty, she fell and hurt herself, and had her body's limit. Last page has an illustration of a collapsed girl. Didn't we see something that was like Eve collapsed or something as a painting? I want to say that was the... Yeah, but now... Okay, we did get that huge scroll of a painting or whatever. Like there's someone there. Ooh. I was thinking we could use it like a bridge or something, but probably not. Still a little musty in here. I might be able to just like damage boost my way there, but... Okay, it is replenishable. Alright. Some vase, water, whatever, those were not replenishable. They were one-time use. Okay, can we just... Okay, that did 2 hits of damage. But I think if I try to damage boost now, get all the way over, it'll screw me over quite a bit. But we can literally just heal ourselves. And there's another one. Did you move? Here, treasure hunt? I'm gonna play too. Two of one flesh will work in combination. Oh, hey, doesn't that weird painting we picked up look kind of like these snake ones? Maybe this was a failed attempt? Placing it. When do you want to swap out? Probably the belly. It looks like it swallowed something. Over painting. Maybe something else. What about the tail? That looks extra long. See something changed on the other end? Aha! Okay, so we know they're connected now. Try the head now. Changed again. But it doesn't seem like much progress on it. Unless I could take this one, but I think so. I was hoping a puzzle here wouldn't stump me exactly, but... You're wearing me out. Yeah, I'm wearing myself out. I don't think it... No, it does change on Gary's end. Aha, okay. I didn't check over on Gary's... for that one, my bad. Pulsing object. Contained glass heart. Okay, where do we put the heart? Surely it's artificial, right? Check if it's beating. Could be... Oh, hook, touch it. That might hurt, yeah. I think we can end up putting something on this. With the heart. Makes sense. Ah, that was the key to this room. Ball over there. Enlightenment. Essentials of color describes the use of color. Pretty difficult stuff. Oh. Ah ha ha. Taking out books is forbidden. Via a trading of existences, the fantastical can be made reality. Sounds familiar also. Not sure that I understand. A trading of existences. The umbrella. Why don't we put the umbrella on the hook? Because umbrellas also have a hook at the end. Well, sometimes. But imagine you just put hook to hook there. But... Aha! Fisherman, fish, hook. There's a really cool sequence here, going back and forth. Umbrella. Give the umbrella to the umbrella-less lady. And now it's raining. That's so weird. Oh my god, that scared me. Moved up so we can step on it. Rotation. Ah. This kind of looks like the red bubbling gas over Gary's end. So what happens if we do that? I think it flipped them. I don't think we can still damage boost. I mean, maybe we could. We might not be able to get back if we do that. I wonder what happens if we put it on its side here. Okay, now all of them are are going off. I wonder if that'll be the same if I put it on other axis. Oh, it is. I think maybe there might be a vase in that room. I don't want to have to like try to damage boost and then I end up putting myself in a situation where I have to die. In fact, I probably should save. Full health and try to damage boost. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, but we can rotate it now. Aha. I didn't even think of that. Okay, heal me. Oh, I also noticed that the rose in the top left gets more faded as you lose points. Interesting. Okay, so we lowered the plant vines or whatever. I don't think that changed the vines that separated us initially. At least I'm assuming. But it did lower these. Trained ear. Contains paintings of Gortena organized by letter. Yet again. Serpentine Spirit, 6248. Beginning with this place, Gortena shifted the greater focus on abstract art. Yeah, all these are in the 6-2 range, so it makes me think that it's a year, right? Even Gortena's various abstract works largely ignored. See if these all follow the same trend, because he can't be like, if it's like say 5,000 something, he's not lived for 1,000 years. 1619, yeah, it seems like it's a year. Hank Man. Didn't we see this one earlier? We had to get a code from it. Apparently paintings as a page filler while doing binding work for a magazine. Yeah, so some of these paintings, even some of the ones used for puzzles, have supposedly existed in real life, but definitely not all of them. So, I don't know. Some people might want to use some for theories, like this painting here shown at this point in the game might indicate blank. Then there's a contention of like maybe that painting doesn't exist, or maybe it does exist and says something. With illustrations each issue, it became renowned and was later sold for a limited time as a tarot card. Yeah. Presently, it is next to impossible for one to come upon this tarot card. And the tarot card of the Hanged Man also has meanings behind it, so maybe you could do a whole thing of like maybe Gortena's trying to represent himself as the Hanged Man, and we can glean some things about him from that. I don't know. But it's an avenue if you want to theorize about this game. I do feel kind of bad because there's some aspects of this game that like might be completely obvious in what it's trying to say about Gortena, or themes about, you know, say imagery of roses and the sort. I'm not too in my depth about that, but I didn't necessarily feel the need to like, you know, take the time out of my day to think about what any of this, maybe I shouldn't say any of this, but some things of this could mean. I didn't want to pull up a video essay and have somebody tell me what it's all about. I like to, you know, keep something that feels kind of special like this to myself, and maybe over the years I'll understand it more and more. It's kind of how I wanted to engage with this game, and now I'm playing it for a second time here. Okay, what do we do now? We've mostly filled this out, but there might be 2 to go. Only one room I haven't checked. But I think it's still closed. Perhaps we can do more over here. It's locked. What's in here? Did I even check in here? Look, keep stairs. But we need Gary to move this. Why is it blocking the way? I don't know. What do you have to say? Turn the other door, that's it. I want to check real quick. Oh! We've been blocked. Well, that's not foreboding. I wonder when that appears, because you saw before we started doing puzzles it was completely clear to go, but now I can't. I mean, maybe the implication is that the vines should go away from when we were separated, but because that happened, now he still can't go back because of the mannequin head. Even that, it doesn't look like a traditional mannequin head. It looks like it's made out of, like, some kind of rock marble or something. But I hope I didn't need that umbrella there, yeah. Thinking, like, the eye might be pointing to something. Probably not. Well, there is an eye, there is an ear. I don't think there's anything else to do in here. Like, what's extinct anyway? I don't want to get to the point where I look up the solution, but at the same time I don't want the stream here to be boring. What do we color it in? You'd think somebody like Mary would might give hints here and there, but not that I'm mad that she doesn't. It's just a funny little thing. But we're snake painting. Oh well. Yeah, but she can't be a little funny with what she says. Let me go back here. Random out of context discussion point here. But I think I might have mentioned I was playing Crash Nitro Kart a stream ago, and I might have said that I played... Oh my god, I forgot about this. I might have said I also played Crash Team Racing, which is the game that came before on the PlayStation 1, and that is really fun in comparison. Right, I still like Crash Nitro Kart a lot, but I played the absolute shit out of Crash Team Racing these past few days because I picked up that PlayStation, and I got all of the Platinum Relics, and that was really fun. Some tracks were really frustrating. Oh, it's still here. But yeah, the control scheme in that game is it's actually so fun as hell. If you've only played like Mario Kart all your life, give like Crash Team Racing a try if that's an avenue that's easy for you to get your hands on or something. Or even Crash Nitro Kart. I get the two confused because I grew up with Nitro Kart, and I played Team Racing technically as a kid as well, but less to a lesser extent. They're both three letters starting with Crash. There are also a bunch of other games I want to play for the PlayStation. Like I could play Gemmer Lammy. I forgot about that. I think around the same time I played Eve, actually, funny enough, because I remember drinking cider to that game as well. Which is also a great game that I don't think too many people have played. Like, there's quite a number of people who played the Parappa 1 and 2, which are both great games, by the way. But not too many people played Jammer Lammy, which is essentially the sequel to Parappa 1. You'd think it would just be Parappa 2 being the sequel to Parappa 1. But you want another random game recommendation, yeah, play that one, which is a rhythm game. If you did not know. But then again, you should probably start playing Parappa 1 if you're not even familiar with the franchise. I went back and there was nothing. Terror. Being alone is frightening. A pair of two can bring relief. A group of three. The rest has been torn off. Something to think about. I hope Eve and Mary are okay. At least they have each other. Yeah. There must be some other way. Wouldn't think there's like a secret entrance or something. But you never know. I don't wanna look up a playthrough or look up the answer, because I am principally opposed to that idea. But and to those familiar with Eve, I know it could probably be very frustrating to see this, so I apologize. This is supposedly the way out. Good to go, and there's only one room I haven't checked. So I think the implication there is that nothing else to check out. The next stop for Gary to take is in this room here. Door must open some other way. Doorknob is strangely cold. Maybe the some other way is implying that it's on even Mary's side that gets it open. Maybe. When I did this earlier, backtracking, I wasn't paying too much attention because I'm talking about Crash Team Racing. I already pulled all of these. That ain't cute. Okay, probably not anything over here. Alright, I might check one more time on Eben Mary's side to see if there's anything to do there. But I might relent and look it up. Because I should know the answer. I've gone through this game a few times. Well, no, I've only gone through it once, but I have seen multiple playthroughs from other people, so there's not too much of an... I like that the turtle sprite changes a little bit and he lifts his head up when you stand on his back. Okay, I will relent. I'll look it up. I do remember there being one puzzle here, one thing that's like a little obtuse. But for the most part, I do enjoy the game. I think it's rather well done. I still highly suggest people to play it. Oh shit. This looks completely different than the original, my goodness. This area here, at least, looks rather different than the remake. My goodness. Oh shit, this playthrough here I'm seeing, I see that they took Gary back to the previous areas before you find him, and you can get additional dialogue by talking in the rooms with him. That's interesting. Again, another fine detail that makes it worth it to buy this game. Oh god damn it. Okay. Sorry you probably had to skip ahead to this point, but I it's crazy how the times that I got hung up is I forgot to check one thing. It's not any secret to puzzle, I don't think, that gets things finished here, but I got so hung up on the hanged man here and talked about it and then I always stopped. Let's go to page M. Yeah, my bad. Mary. The last work of Guertena's life. While the girl appears almost lifelike, she is, of course, not based on a real person either. Well, that looks awfully familiar. Can't be, that's Mary. A world where paintings come to life. Yeah, maybe we should have expected this. Doesn't exist? What does that mean? But then, who or what is with Ebe? I heard it. Mary's secret. A little effect up there. Does he say anything if we... Oh, shit. Dot dot dot. Oh. What's wrong? Oh, it's nothing. What's wrong? What's wrong? I don't like him. Not one bit. That's not weird. Can't go back. I noticed that you moved a little bit. It was a bit bloated. Oh. Okay then. I wonder if that's unlocked now? But let's go check up on Mary first. In fact, I should save, because it seems like important stuff is about to happen. Jeez, I can't believe I just didn't check the third freaking painting. Whoa. What are you doing? It's all bloody. In my way, in my way. Scared to speak up. Oh my god! Ebe. Don't leave me. You didn't see that just now, did you, Ebe? You have friends? Like, how many? Friends are people you always play with, right? Sometimes you argue, and maybe after you argue, we come back as better friends than ever. Oh, she's falling slowly. Oh. Why are grown up so tall, I wonder? I'm gonna be tall like Gary too someday. I wanna grow up soon. Get away from me! Just checking up on some of the paintings here. What do you think of my scarf? That's not exactly what I'd call it. It's more like an ascot? Or cravat, perhaps. Looks nice, I guess. Teehee, I'm glad. I really like it too. Unless she's referring to the white thing, but I thought that was like a flat... I don't know, I'd have to look at the actual painting again. You know, save point, that's... Oh yeah, see at the save point there, he was alone. Door's unlocked. Alright, go in. Yeah, not creepy at all. You know, this upcoming sequence, sorry for the spoilers, this upcoming sequence is a little important, so I might have to dial in. 7 of them. Welcome to our home. Oh, thank you for the welcome. An empty frame. Uh-oh. That seemed a little too easy. Let's have another treasure hunt. Who has the key? What's that? Find the key and get out. Here. Paper. Oh my god, I died. Well, there goes that. I'm gonna load up the file. Because it's important that I actually escape. Top option is not to go in. My bad. But, perhaps the doll is at the bottom left, unless it's, like, randomized each time, or... You could do multiple different systems here. Of, like, oh, you find it after ripping 7 or something. But, if it's set every time, which I assume it is, then it might just be towards the bottom left. I don't think you can rip the ones on the shelves. But if it's random every time, that's not good. Wait, what was it saying? Oh, it's already ripped. Oh, I didn't get it again. Huh. I wonder if I'm missing something. Oh, it doesn't take too much time to... Oh yeah, the UI changes to blue when you do that. That's interesting. I wonder if you do have to open all of them, but that seems a little difficult. Oh, that got me. Wrong button. I think you do have to open all of them. And it feels random every time what's actually in them. The key! I'm out of here, baby! He moved like that automatically. So, you know how last time I was talking about Gary's doom count or whatever, if you do certain actions, losing to that does add to his doom count, and if he has too much of a doom count, you don't get the good ending. So I wanted to do that and actually successfully escape so I could actually get the real, true ending. Assuming I haven't fucked up already enough. Why did I have to go through that? No time to be whining. You might be in a terrifying situation of our own. Gotta regroup soon. Save, and hey, pallet's full. So much going on that it completely slipped my mind. Come this far, but no. Wondering if I should keep going. I think this is a... I'll see what's going on with the... Actually, no, there's no... Oh. There's no red rose. Go ahead. Please be safe. Gotta move it now, gotta move it now. Oh, the rainbow. And now the room is in color, that makes sense. The brown key. The stairs. Why won't you help me? We can go downstairs if we move that statue, yeah. As somebody who knows what's down the stairs that she was at, it's I kind of understand what's she's getting at, right? Why are you running? Ebe! What are you doing, Mary? Shut up. Should've been good and waited there. Mary, I knew it, you're... Go! And here it is, Gary's secondary theme is a really, really good piece. I like this one a lot. Probably my favorite track, the whole game. The way it's composed, and I guess his first theme as well, kind of sounds like a church theme? Or maybe not a church theme, but some of the chords and chord progressions kind of read like the piano you might hear before Mass actually starts. Just a little observation I've had over the years. I'll let it play a little longer. Let me sip on my cider a bit. This part right here. And this as well. And then resolve there. Yeah, that sounds like something I'd hear right before church starts. Sorry it took so long. Aww. Whoa, Ebe, I wonder if that happens every single time. Because again, there's a friendship counter between you and Gary. But I guess in that scary situation, it would, I would be surprised if that just happens regardless. Must have been scary, but it's okay now. You might not believe me, but Mary, she isn't human. It's one of Gortena's works. It's like those women in paintings who chased after us. I didn't notice with how normally she acted, but it's dangerous to stay with her. I had just been a moment too late there. I feel sorry for her, but you need to get away from here now. Moving muscle. Rose, it looks real, but it's fake. I wonder if it's like paper mache or something. We can actually got this area as Ebe. Ebe, don't go in there, it's too dangerous. I know this is turned off. I was able to rotate this earlier, but it seems it won't anymore. Oh yeah, I forgot. Press E to talk. There's some sort of gas in this room earlier, but it seems to have stopped. I think doing this does add to your friendship counter, something of the sort. After we split up, I found a secret passage. I went through it and it led me here. Deeply worried what to do if we could never meet up again, but I'm glad we did. Found a book on Cortana's works here, and in it was Mary. We might be we might actually be able to look at some of the paintings we saw earlier and understand some words now. ... Let's get going. Such attention to detail. Again, I'm not sure what's added here in this remake compared to the original, because I saw what one of these areas looked like in the original when I was looking stuff up, and it looked completely different, so who knows. They're okay. Actually, we could heal up. Why not? And I guess we'll save too. Painting was on the floor below as well. To really think about it, isn't it contradictory to have two of one flesh? Ah well, Not that deep. No, no, no! It is that deep! It matters. It's, oh, whatever. Over snake painting. It's a cool observation, honestly, for him to make, you know? It goes really into skin and squama. I'm not even sure what that word is. But it's like the premise of two of one flesh. Kind of you could say it's a part of a philosophy, and by Gary pointing that out on how he objects, isn't it contradictory, is giving kind of an argument or an opposing philosophy, perhaps, right? It's kind of a cool idea. Hey, wasn't this painting on display at the exhibition as well? Left quite an impression. Well, I remember it clearly. Huh. Perhaps it was. Yeah, I was going to comment on that earlier. By taking it back at how casually you gave it a pedal. Yeah, we're kind of cool like that. Comment there. Archive in here as well. Perhaps all these books belong to Gortena. Went all this way with Mary, Eve. Oh no, I'm not angry at all. It allowed me to meet up with you, even. I think Mary was, well, fortunate. Still, so as not to waste all our efforts, but no. Yeah, I was kind of going back and forth on whether I should have said, to Mary's question earlier of, like, you know, not when she's angry in reference to Mother, but I'm not sure what would fit the story or these characters better, but it's a little telling to me that it's implied Eve asked, oh, you're not angry, are you? Something like that there. Might imply, potentially, that, you know, that's something that Eve is always worried about. Like, I don't want to worry parental figure, you know? Quite, I'd say, substantial point for the character. Umbrella looks familiar. I'm gonna press E and Gary's gonna be like, why the fuck is it raining in here? Also, the floor I was on. It's surprising to find it actually rotated. Why is it raining in this room? Yeah. That's a funny sprite to accompany that, too. Or a character portrait. I don't know, the term sprite gets kind of used maybe a bit too much. Because, like, sprites are used for, like... I think the term should only be used if, like, there's a sprite sheet being used within the game. Or as part of reference, I should say. But I don't know. Sometimes language evolves in the sort. Mannequin head. Oh, is this a display as well? This place is amazing. Like you're really under the stars. Taking a closer look. Just jewelry hanging from the wall with a painted night sky. Telling me I was beginning to think we're floating by some mysterious force. I guess a lot of what we're going through right now is pretty mysterious, so it's not out of the question. What the? A rainbow bridge! It's safe to cross? Cross it. We've crossed the rainbow bridge. But I did get a bit weak in the knee. We can get all this additional dialogue. I think the game would normally expect you to just continue on immediately, but they added all this, just in case you did it. Closely at the palette, it almost seems like it has a face on it. Okay, I think we did mostly everything here. I'll check real quick on the stream, see if everything's all good. I don't think I need to do any kind of sound check again, as I said. All my settings are the same in the sort. Okay, I think everything is all good. Let us continue. I did save earlier. Well, actually, I'll save now because we did all that stuff with Gary, which does contribute possibly to his friendship score. Rather cutesy painting for Gortena, or at least the frame is. Yeah, again, sometimes they can kind of assume that these are made by Gortena, but others, I swear, just cannot be pieces made by Gortena. For instance, the one that looked like Eve that was collapsed over, unless they're doing some really, really weird storytelling, but I wouldn't assume so. The next step past that blocked path. Alright, leave it to me. Step back. How many of these things have I pushed today? Well, you knocked one over because I was stupid. And yeah, if I didn't mention it, knocking over that statue with Gary in that sequence. Oh, look at this. Does contribute to his doom count. You don't want Gary to destroy things. Or bad things to happen to him in general. Stairs are so narrow. You have another trip and fall, Ebe. Oh my god. It scared me. Whoa. Look at that. Very change his dialogue here. I just had an odd sensation. Was it my imagination? Music suddenly changed. It's an interesting choice to have the music abruptly cut to something else and then things appear in the sky. Up hard, but there's a treasure. Down easy, but there's nothing. Treasure. Okay, we'll go the hard path. Why not? Treasure. Diamond. A diamond? Is this the treasure it was talking about? Excuse me, but gotta take a look at that. Well, no. Oh, it couldn't have been real, of course. Really, I did. Oh my god. Ooh. I think the okay, that sound effect that played was awfully loud. I wonder if each of those fireballs had its own sound effect of, like, the fire sound effect, whatever used there, and all of those stacked on top of each other just made it so it was very loud. That'd be very funny if that was the case. That reminds me of the, if you've ever played Super Smash Bros., some people will, if you put every single character onto every single character slot on the same character, and then you go back and you go back in, all of their, well, actually, I think it's only for Yoshi. Maybe if there are other characters, but there's a funny little thing you can do where Yoshi, at least, if you have all 4 players on it, then you back out and then you go back in, all the Yoshis will do their sound effect at the exact same time, and because there's 4 of them all doing it all at once, it just sounds like the singular one very, very loud. Well, now, this is a stark change of mood. No reason to remain cautious, though. Go, Ebe. Actually, did I press E here? Something there. Sketchbook. Bulletin board. What could that be? Tulip. Tulip? A tulip. If I'm doing the optimal strategy for the ending I wanted, I probably should make a bunch of save files all at once, but that's, I want to be a little bit more casual here. Post it up here. A map! Map of the area. Because that's where we are. Oh, this is cursor. Speak with bird. Sketchbook exit needs toy key. Yeah, I forget. I did say, I think I said earlier that I'm not gonna do the additional dungeon, but I want to say that it's optional, right? You don't have to do it, but hopefully it's not gonna force me to do it, because I remember how they kind of integrated to the story, but it'd be kind of weird if we did just went off the beaten path as opposed to, you know, escaping this crazy world. So, I don't know. If I'm forced to do it, then I guess I'll just do it. Why not? But again, I said I wanted to also take a bit of a break, come back, and maybe do some fight night later. It's us. presumably maybe Mary drew this, but I'm not sure why Mary would draw Gary because he hates Gary. That sounds like a bad sitcom or something. Mary hates Gary. Toy key always goes back in the toy box. Found over there. Window, but you can't see outside. You take her around. I guess I got a bucket. You need to wake up. It's good to get some sunlight. Uh-oh. Ebe, Gary, where are you? Don't tell me, was that? Oh, she's after us. I guess this is a coat hanger. Mary was looking for us. Perhaps she feels bitter. But no, she's one of Gortena's works. We simply can't stay with her. It's definitely a big question here as to what the intent of the piece called Mary was, you know, what was going on in Gortena's head. What was the meaning? Because it did say, at least real-world commentary on it, was that it was technically not based on any singular person, right? He did have a granddaughter, which was attested to from a different painting's description, but you know, it seems as though it's not based on his granddaughter, so what's it based on, quote-unquote? The bucket, I doubt it can do much but hold water. No keyhole, there must be some other way. Warm sunlight. Talk to Gary. Ebe, you're holding on to your rose, right? Sure you don't lose it, and don't even think about giving it to anyone else. Oh, I still wonder, why roses? Come to think of it, I did see a large rose sculpture in the gallery. Yeah, I guess that is an interesting connection. You know, after seeing all the moving paintings and things jumping out of their frames, I'm not even surprised to see a painting move now. As absurd as it sounds. Why, even trick art seems like nothing special. Oh yeah, I remember that there's these, like, special... They don't have to be paintings, but there's, like... I forget what they call them, like, mystery image? It's something like that, I don't know. But it's one of those things where there's a hidden image and you have to, like, cross your eyes to see them. I've never gotten that to work for myself. Maybe I just need to try different ones and see what happens. Just thinking, why did Mary come with us? To make one of us possible, but that doesn't really feel right. We don't particularly know what she's after. Granted, she may not even have a goal. First things first, I would appreciate if she could stop chasing us with a palette knife. Give me 1 second to refresh and maybe take one more sip of my cider real quick. Okay, the thing I mentioned, I just noticed this now after looking at OBS. The thing I mentioned earlier about the weird aspect ratio and some of the right side is cut off. Apparently, around that right side, there's a black bar also, so I'm not sure if, like, messed up the window size or something? I don't know, but theoretically nothing's getting cut off here. I guess that's good. But it's such a small area that nothing would meaningfully be missing from the picture, I guess. But yeah, let's check the E. Did I do that already? A bucket. Water, okay. Again, and this is important, this does gain friendship status, I think. And look at dolls normally again. Pretty traumatic, to say the least. And yet there's a drawing of one right on that building there. Dear. Look, Ebe. My watch is broken. Working fine this morning, but it stopped once I came here. Really fond of it, too. I keep pressing the E for some reason. As far as we managed to come, we headed underground. The stairs go down. Sure we want to? Sorry, Ebe. I didn't mean to make you anxious. Forget I said it, okay? Gary's a very thoughtful person. I pressed E again! Might be the start of repeated dialogue. Check one more time. Might go in a cycle. Let me look at the pudding. Giant pudding on a plate. You ever wanted to take a bite? Giant serving of food like that? Yeah, I have. I knew it. Who wouldn't, right? When I was about your age, I had such a hankering for this giant cake from a storybook. I want to get on top and eat the cake at my feet, then dive into a sea of juice and swim around. I probably wouldn't think the same thing because I'm walking around on it. I don't want to eat, like, the dirt from my fucking shoes or something. And around. Bask in the sunlight. ... It's nice to get some sun, but well, we gotta go. Might not get to see the real sun again. That's been scribbled out in black. I don't get the logistics of it, but it seems we can't walk on black areas here. Stars shining above. Always press E. Nothing for the area, just talking about the bucket. There's water here. Touch the water, stare to the water. Dip a rose stem in water. I wonder what happens if we do that. Rose wilted. Oh, interesting. The water feels lukewarm. Aaron? Sure you don't fall in while you're spacing out. I don't necessarily think this lake here would give a reflection. The bird? The long-necked duck swims around. Looks more like a goose to me. Yeah. Fill the bucket. Put that on this. And pouring the water in the black spot. Get the black off. Well, it's worth a shot. Unfortunately, it seems we were wrong. Well, it was a decent enough guess. Gary say something different. Continue to entrust you with deciding how to use the water. I don't know why that line is funny to me. It's it's very specific and worded in a certain fashion to the point where it's just comical. I don't know. Like, yeah, think about that one out of context. Sort of mushroom, I have to say. I've never seen a mushroom with this gaudy before. Yes, all these crayon scribblings, very gaudy indeed. Quite poisonous, some kind of in storybooks though. It might be a reference to, like, you know, Mario Mushroom, because video game. But that one's based on the real-life Fly Amanita, which looks less appealing when you actually look up photos of it. Mushrooms are just like, you know, I might differ from other people, but they're not very pleasant for me to look at. Maybe it's like a trypophobic thing, but I've seen other fungi that look very tubular and have holes in them, and I don't want to get into it. And sometimes the underside of mushrooms, under their cap, have like ridges that go up and down, and like that kind of gives a trypophobic look to it. Yeah, I'm not usually a fan. We pour water on the eye. I wake it up. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to try. But yeah, sorry to the fungi lovers out there. It's just not my cup of tea. Oh wait. Tulip bud. Might make it bloom. Aha, finally it did something. Something inside it. And the little mirror. Ah. Mirrors reflect light. I actually do want to go back and save here real quick though, just in case something happens. I wonder what this mirror is for. Oh dear. Put awful bags under my eyes. Hear this. But this isn't the time to be fussing over my appearance. Sorry. I do like, you know, that kind of design in a character though. I think it looks good, having darkness under the eyes. Nothing happened. Gary doesn't seem to see it. Ah. I do like the wind chimes of this track here. It's a very, very nice touch to this piece. It makes me feel like I'm outside. Point the mirror towards the door. See, that's a little confusing to me. Like, why would pointing light to it open the eye up? Wouldn't the eye want to stay closed and not get sunlight into it? I don't know. Or maybe it's perceiving itself in darkness and now it can see because there's light in it, but I don't know. Not too shabby. But now we can go in. Can you solve this puzzle? Make one wrong move and you'll be punished. And there's even a save in here. That's kind of intimidating. Shouldn't be too bad though. Oh, I just clicked on a thing, I didn't know. Oops. Ah, okay. There's certain details out in the map. And this goes in a certain order. Okay. Sunlight is probably this area. Saw the mushroom over by the lake. Not sure where a horse is. Star, footprint, and a butterfly. At least I think that's a butterfly. So we're gonna think to ourselves, horse, mushroom, flower, then it's sunlight. Let's go looking for some details. Horse, mushroom, flower. Horses are here. Here's the mushroom. I guess flowers are here, but it didn't exactly look like the flower on the wall there, so I'm gonna go searching a little more. Here are the butterflies. Blueprints are here. Okay, maybe this one is the flower one. It just looked like that flower was like upside down or something. Didn't know if that was an important distinction. Actually, no. There are flowers here too. And also blue stars. Start to the horse. Does he... Mushroom, which is flowers, which might be... Nope, it's not there. Is it... We got infinite heal, so I'm gonna... No. Huh. Let me go back and heal. Oh, it's this. Okay, no, those aren't flowers. It's a cherry. Oh, the crude drawings got me. It just looked like an upside down little, like, flower spot. I don't know. But, oh no! There's no one. There's a single use one. Okay. I could reload but I'm not going to do that. Star is at the very top middle. Horse is here, here. Gary's here, on here. I don't know. Is that a fish? I think it would be here. We'll start here. Blueprint here, and butterflies there. Ink crayon. Where do we use this? I have no idea. You want to use a crayon would have to draw something. Perhaps the color means something too. Didn't actually interact too much here. Butterfly. There's butterflies, but this is also a map. There's just maps everywhere. No, Butterfly Park. Interesting that she's depicted here, Mary, with kooky dolls. Which, maybe there is also an implication that Mary saw the dolls as they were, like Gary did, but still found them cute as a way to illustrate her warped nature, so to speak. Locked. Dead. Yeah, those are the fishies there. Actually, oh, it's not, well, maybe it is black scribbled over the pink road, but maybe it's actually to fill in. Ground to fill in. Scribbling all over this surprisingly tired. I guess it would be a large area relative to how big the characters look. The ground is colored, it seems you can pass. Toy box anywhere, this is the only place for it. Okay, I think we're rolling up here on some major decisions and points in the story, so I apologize if I have to reload or if I do something weird. Explore the house, shall we? Rather blank. This dreary room, plus I'm getting chills. Oh, I went back and saved, and there's a save point here. It's so funny. I saw that a lot in, like, some people's Undertale and Deltarune playthroughs where they felt like they needed to religiously save, so sometimes they'd have the option to go forward, but they're like, oh, a bunch of stuff happens, so I need to go all the way back to the last save point, and then they'd finally reach the next room after going all the way back, and then there's a save point there, and they're like, oh shit. It happens like all the time in certain playthroughs. It's really funny. Toy box. Rather big, at any rate. Quick key in here, but I can't see the bottom. The key in here, I wonder. Wanna see? Oh! Alright, this is make it or break it time. I think what happens here. You don't have your red rose. Okay, I think we're on track for what I want to see here, and Gary isn't here either. Or maybe I'm not. I don't know. Put in the second safe lot. Dripping doll is smiling. Yeah, more with these dolls. I don't exactly remember that little detail from any of my previous encounters of this game, but yeah, these dolls show up back again here. I didn't think they'd be, like, you know, re-emphasized as imagery, but they might be more important than I gave them credit for. I'm not sure if the imagery here of the doll itself relates to Guertena or not. Like, maybe does he have some kind of sculpture or doll that actually in real life resembles this? Because if so, that'd be interesting. But maybe Gary would know about it because he seems like a Guertena buff. But he seemed rather surprised at how these things looked. I don't know. Something on the ground. Obtained a toy key. And again, there are tons and tons of questions you could raise about certain parts of these games. I'm not gonna, you know, try and cobble up an answer myself. I really like asking questions, you know. that gets the mind going. I don't necessarily like we need to have a definitive answer. I just like the discussion around it. I'm more of a question asker as opposed to question answer. These are the stairs. But we did find a key. Oh, there's Gary. Oof. Ugh. Hit my head. Eve, are you okay? Apparently, under certain circumstances, you don't find Gary, Gary finds you, but it's apparently a good thing here that we woke up ourselves and are finding Gary. Say I'm fine. Oh, that's good. At any rate. This is covered in all these bizarre scribbles. That toy box. All in front of the upper floor. She pushed us. Anyways, the toy key, was it? Better find that and get out. You already found the toy key. Well done, then let's find the exit at once. You look kinda pale. Really okay? But you lost your rose. Oh, that's not good at all. Quick, let's find it. I mentioned it earlier that, I keep telling people, like, yeah, go buy this game, and, yeah, the thing with that is I want to emphasize, my situation was, you know, I'd seen a bunch of people play this game, like, a ton, right, back in the day, so, sometimes I feel like, oh, I've seen somebody play it, I don't need to go play it myself, there's the rose right there, I'm gonna continue on. But if somebody happens to be watching now, or is already familiar with this game, but hasn't actually played it, based on my own experience, I'd say actually still pick it up, you know, actually sit down and play it yourself, because it's a fun time, even if you have seen this game, know the story, it's still a nice experience, you know, just sit down, do what I did, like, have a nice little drink with it as well, and relax and play this little game here, because it's really good. You might end up enjoying that experience, even if you think it might be lessened given the fact you've already seen this game before. It's still a great experience, I like it a lot. So, you know, if you're watching me play and you're thinking, oh, but I know this story already, maybe pick it up anyways. But it's just a suggestion, nothing more. I'm not gonna hold you at gunpoint or nothing about it. But I don't like this. I feel like something like this has happened before. What's with these things? Ebe, let's hurry to the exit. Oh shit, they all came to life. I guess I didn't notice, yeah, that the statues also were there too, and they're repeated imagery, so maybe I was going on too much of a tangent in relation to the dolls, but I don't know. Maybe it's important, thematically speaking, at least. Where the toy box was. I can safely save here. Thorns blocked away, completely blocked. Telling us not to go up then, huh? What should we do? Pull them, burn them, do them closely. Thorns are odd. They don't seem real. They'll feel as lively as plants should. Look so artificial. Although most things here don't feel real. That sunlight, pudding for instance, I almost said puddling. We're really in deep now, aren't we? Yeah. Those roses drawn on the wall? Yellow roses. Which reminds me of Mary. Managed to get away. Ugh, give me a break. Better recover your rose soon. Sure to hold on tight this time, okay? What happens if we try to go back? Don't want to go back anymore. Yeah, that's fair. Same dialogue. Wait a moment, Ebe. Maybe some stairs there. Should we take a... Oh, I guess we can't go back. I was confused by burn them, because I'm like, burn it with what? Should we find something to burn them? But I forgot. Gary has a lighter. Burn them. Guess we should burn them. Somehow the possibility just slipped my mind. Maybe I just didn't think they were flammable. Whatever. Let's try burning them then. I guess it's cool that Ebe had that idea before Gary did. Success at work, Ebe. This might be smarter than you might give her credit for. Room. Air feels heavy somehow. More importantly, see that, Ebe? Painting on the wall over there. I've seen it before. Get a closer look. Who's there? Ebe, Gary, you're both okay? How did you get into this room? Eve. Don't take another step. I think Gary tried to say so. I'm not sure if I accidentally pressed the advance button or she intentionally interrupted the dialogue, but I don't exactly know what Gary said. What? Leave right now. Now, now, now! Oh, I might need to run. Remove the painting, rip the painting, burn the painting. I like that everything goes monochrome for this singular instance, right? It's all in, like, high slow motion. I think the option we want is to burn the painting. Other option left. No, stop! I'm not sure if they're burning the rest of the tapestry or the frame or whatever. No! But either way, you're done for. Ugh, I have to say, I thought it was a goner there. That fire, much bigger than I expected. Are you okay, Ebe? Get hurt when the glass shattered? In my hand. Right, I cut it. I didn't even notice I must have cut it just now. Oh, it's just a little scratch. Let's give him the handkerchief. Handkerchief. Sure, I suppose I'll borrow it. And this real lace? I'm gonna make this dirty. Late, unfortunately. I'll be borrowing this then. Thank you, Ebe. Ah, that's a important little interaction there. Now then, head outside. Mary. This frame really was Mary's. Let's head for the exit. Palette knife lies among what looks like a pile of burnt paper ashes. She really was one of Gortena's creations then. Apparently the last one too. Scenic photos of some place you don't know. Now again, one of the big mysteries around this that I still have, at least personally, is like, what is up with Gortena? Like, it has to be saying something about him, the actual artist here, but there's also an interesting thing I thought of like, the game was made here by an illustrator, right? Somebody who made really cool portraits. Like, as you see, I think all these portraits were made by the developer of this game initially. But I don't know how that's been messed with the remake. Maybe with this remake there are more people on the team and the sort, but there was an original here. So I'm not sure if there's something being said here with the story around like what it means to create stuff and be the perspective of a creator, what you're putting into your creations or not. But, you know, I just thought it was an interesting thing, possibly a parallel, who knows. Let me save in the third slot here. This is still gone. Water, so we'll just live 1 HP here, why not? But key. Oh wait, hold on. We can get more Gary dialogue, why not? It feels almost like I've woken up from it. Be the indication. Oh, whoops. Down the stairs, that's the way. I thought the other way, the entrance, was the we were supposed to go. Oh, it's dark. Watch your step, Ebe. But yeah, that might be an indication that we're close to the end of this game. And hey, look at that. Familiar sighting. Pitch black outside. Same description. Place looks familiar. There's entry. Postcards. I've seen all this before. same descriptions and the sort. We can actually learn words here. A well-meaning hell. Oh. Isolation at water's edge. I was starting to cobble like a theory in my head. Like there's this kind of reoccurring idea of like, you know, parenthood, and as I was talking about earlier with possibly Eve's mother getting mad at her, and I'm not sure. I don't want to immediately characterize Eve's parents as bad or something like that, but it could be the intention that there might be an overall message here that you need a good adult figure in your life, such as Gary, and that influence can go like a long way for a kid like this. And that might also be, but it might also possibly be entangled with Guertena as a creator, because again, he was a grandfather, so who knows. Relation, Water's Edge, Horizon View. I forget what exactly, which words that we didn't know before. Serpentine Spirit. But I'll just look at nearly all of them. Embodiment of Spirit. A little glance, but should you get too close, it induces pain. Blooms only in wholesome bodies. Interesting. Might be commenting on the imagery of roses in general in this game. Something to think about. Selfless Guard. Guy seen from a hill. Coughing Man, who coughed at us earlier in part 1. Fusion. Abyss of the Deep. World where man can never stand. To actualize that world, I decided to engrave it within the canvas. Actually, maybe a lot of this was gone because Eve might not have been able to understand some of these words, and kind of giving us a bigger picture here, a retrospective on the game. Man can never stand. To actualize that world, I decided to engrave it within the canvas. Yeah, more on the idea that all these paintings and works are another world you can step into. And I also thought of it earlier when I was going down here. This one right here, it's like it gets you to predict, right? It tries to like a well-meaning blank. That's what it was. Like, Eve didn't know the word hell, I guess, but it's I guess it's funny that the implication here is that Gary's telling Eve the word hell. Maybe something somebody shouldn't say to a kid, but it's also part of the themes I was talking about earlier, but whatever. It gets you to predict, possibly, like, oh, what is it? A well-meaning parent? A well-meaning mother? A well-meaning, like, you might think something innocuous, and then you get to the end of the game right here, and it says, hell. Like, damn. That's, I don't know, something about that's kind of powerful to me. World of Guertena. Yeah, so I think down here is the additional content. I guess I could go down to, oh, I've gone on these stairs before. I could go down here and check it out, but I don't want to lock myself into having to do it. So, I believe I'm gonna go past to the end of the game, which is upstairs. But if you pick this game up yourself, this is where the additional content is, right here. Just go down and do stuff there. It's really fun. I suggest it highly. Nature Morte on table. Hanged Man, which yeah, we saw earlier in the puzzle. We also saw earlier again in the collection that Gary was looking at. So that whole thing about if it was actually painting real life, yes, it was. I just didn't remember. There it is, right there. Lady taking the newspaper. Worry. Couplet Tower. Was this looked similar? Did we see this one earlier? If so, we did. It might look a little bit different, but it had a different name, I think. Did it? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but it would be interesting. It might be the case here, it might not be. If there were very, very similar paintings here than there were in the painting world, if there were different names between the two. Because one could be like, you know, the surface level, you know, what the artist wanted to name it here in the real world, but like the intention of the piece would be laid out in display for the other title of it. I don't know. Cool thought I just had. Couplet Towers. Lady in Red. Ah, iconic. Passive antipodes. Or maybe it's antipodes. I don't know. There's a Vsauce video about antipodes. I think that's what that word is. There's antipode. I think the singular is antipode. Maybe that's how you say it. But you know, think about a sphere. An antipode would be the point that is directly opposite of another one. Say North Pole and South Pole, for instance. Those two are antipodes. Spectacle of Century's End. Face cleansing tree. Also, it's quite foreboding that there's just no music, no nothing, no audio. Wariness. Which is, again, very intentional. I might have gone on this before, but I really, really like it when a piece of media, whatever, maybe a video game, maybe an animated thing, it just completely removes any and all music, right? It's very, usually it's very intentional, like, incorporation into the piece where it, I don't know how to describe the feeling, but the example I always like to give is the JoJo OVA, where a lot of, like, the exchanges between Dio and Jotaro, if you've seen JoJo before, is just completely, like, no backing music, no nothing. And that's a thing I've heard when creating something. A lot of the time, a rule of thumb I've heard is, like, you need to have music here, you need to have music here, right? Having the audio keeps, like, a stable feeling and tone to the scene, right? So when it's gone like that, it really puts gravitas and focus onto what's actually happening in the exchange. It's really cool stuff. I like it a lot when it's done beautifully, such as here, or in the example I just gave in JoJo. Dark Figure. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen the original JoJo OVA, the Stardust Crusaders one, it's really good, actually, if you're into JoJo. It's funny enough, I mentioned JoJo last time, too. But if you haven't seen that, if you're just like, oh, it's just some old whatever OVA, I want to watch the updated one. No, I'd say go back and watch the OVA. At least the second one, the second half of the story, because I'm sorry to go on a tangent at the very end of the game here, but the second half of Stardust Crusaders for that OVA is the first part that came out in '93, the part where they start off in Egypt and then get to the end. But then they came back with the first half of Stardust Crusaders 10 years later in an additional OVA to get the first half done. So it's really weird. But that second one in 2003, that one's not as good as the first. And there's a lot of creative liberties with the plot, by the way. But it's fun regardless. Anyway, sorry for a JoJo rant right before we kind of cap off this adventure. Blank world. But with Gary here, supposedly, we should know the name now. I'm not sure if we get the actual name given right now or not. There's no coming back after this. All your time here will be lost. Will you still jump in? Well, I'd say we still gain something through this adventure, right? Trying to take it with us. This big painting. Fabricated world. Makes sense. Isn't that the gallery we came from? Yeah, this piece is also interesting, because I think it does look like this in the real world, right? It's a big, big piece that's like... It has all these different elements of other Guerteno's work, so it's interesting that Guerteno made this big tapestry here, including a lot of other elements from other pieces he's made. Does that mean we jump into this painting, be able to go back? But how are we meant to jump into a painting? I'll just try. Why not? Well, what? Ebe, look, the frame. Now might be our chance. Yes, I'm really in. Hurry up, Ebe. Ebe. And another thing about the whole discussion about, you know, parenthood and the sort, well, this also kind of emphasizes that element right here. Ebe, I finally found you. Goodness, I've been looking everywhere. Don't just go wandering off on your own. Your father's waiting for you too, see? Let's get going, Ebe. Ebe, hey, what are you doing? Hurry up and get over here. Ebe, how many times have I told you don't go following strangers? Hey, it's not scary, okay? You'll be fine. Ebe, listen to your mother. Don't go with some stranger. I want to never see your mother and father again. Yeah, I'm kind of... Maybe I shouldn't think too much about this, but there's this fabricated... spoiler alert, this is not our real mother. But there's this fabricated version of Eve's mother here. Does that kind of imply that there is some kind of Gortena piece relating to Eve and Eve's mother? Something like that? I don't know, that would be weird. That would be like, how would Gortena know? That would be kind of a coincidence. Or maybe not, maybe there is some weird backstory about like Eve's family actually knew Gortena, and therefore there was like some kind of sketch of Eve's mother, and that's why that's here, and that's why they're visiting the gallery in the first place. I guess that would be interesting, but nothing's explicitly relating to that, but here we go. It is a major decision. Here, I'll pull you over. Come with me. Reach out your hand. Ebe! What should you do? Go with Mother? Take Gary's hand. And yeah, this is a major decision that dictates directly what ending you get. But of course, the right one here, at least in my opinion, would be to take Gary's hand. But if you want to see the other endings, they're available. You get the game yourself. Okay, it is different. Kinda different, I'd say. Yeah, the tapestry in the other world depicted what the gallery majorly looks like. But there is Lady in Red here off to the side, and I guess the Rose, perhaps. Can't remember what you were doing. Blank world. And everyone's back, and the music is back, and the lights are back. Diamond, but we still can't understand stuff. And also, parenting their kid would also be additional reinforcement of the theme I was talking about. But I think a lot of the dialogue here is basically the same. Lame. Was it Glass of Antipodes? I want to make sure there's no like discrepancies, because if there is, that probably means a lot. Don't worry. Also, isn't there... You're blocking my view. Yeah, that's a funny little detail if you stand in front. Man. Me too. Curse my short-term memory loss. I can't remember what this one was called, for instance. We can actually save here. I can't go back. Okay, alright. Looking for your parents. I'll explore a little bit around. I'm not sure our parents will say anything that that locks us out or nothing, but I think this is eventually where we gotta be, where, hey, look, it's Gary, is plants. Now the main theme play. What is it, little lady? What's the statue called? This? It's called Embodiment of Spirit, apparently. It's also funny that, yeah, Gary in the other world, because they don't remember things now, Gary in the other world was teaching Eve stuff, words she didn't know, and now when we reunite, he's doing it exactly here. When I look at this rose, somehow I feel deeply sorrowful. I wonder why. My apologies. I shouldn't be dropping such things on you out of the blue, Ebe. Ebe. Wait, what? Who's Eve? How did he know that? Your name? Your name's really Eve. The strangest thing, I mean, it could be our first time meeting. This kinda came out, how odd. But actually, we perhaps met somewhere before. Look at me, asking such strange questions. Never mind what I said. So long. There's a handkerchief. Did I always have that? But this is yours? My word, it's true. Ebe. Name's on it. Why is it in my pocket? Not only that, there's blood on it too. Shh. I was wounded on the hand. And a girl gave me her handkerchief. That's it. I was lent this handkerchief. Girl, by Ebe. Ebe, I remember now. Yeah, he remembers. Are we together back there? How could I have forgotten something so important? Stuck together all the way, traversing this bizarre gallery. Chased by those strange paintings and meeting Mary too, right? You remember? I remember. I genuinely do not want to know what happens if you say I don't. Oh, that makes me sad to see that. I remember, of course I do. Thank goodness. Honestly, hard to believe even now. And yes, this is the greatest ending, at least. Maybe someone would say canon. I'm not sure if that other dialogue option changes the ending or whatever. But yeah. Honestly, hard to believe even now, but must have happened, right? We got back safely, we did it! So much more I want to talk about, but I've got to get going. Say, Ebe, is it alright if I keep this handkerchief for a while longer? Wouldn't do to return it as is. Be sure to give it a good clean. That probably would be very difficult, cleaning blood out of a handkerchief of such good material, but, you know, I'll probably try. And then I'll give it back. And Ebe still has the candy, I think, so think of it as a little bit of an exchange. Because we'll see each other again. And that was Ebe. I hope everyone watching had a fun time. I certainly had a fun time replaying it, because this is a really cool game. Again, if you'll allow me to say it one more time, even if you have seen this playthrough of it, the one I'm doing, or a bunch of other people playing it, maybe pick it up for yourself. It's a fun time, right? Take it from my experience. And there's also a lot to, you know, the story and the themes, and my god, it looks and sounds really, really nice even to this day. As for what this remaster does, I like the additional content. I like all the times you can talk to Gary and everything they added there. There's quite a bit to it. I think it's a good deal, right? Go pick it up on Steam if you want. But the original is also there. I'm not sure if... Well, I don't know. I haven't played the original myself. I'm not sure if that's available someplace else, because this did go through some other publisher, I want to say, so I'm unsure if the original got delisted anything, but maybe the original's there if you want to pick that up. It might be cheaper, it might even be free, I can't even remember. But as for this remaster, speaking as somebody who's played it, it's pretty darn good. This whole game, really great stuff. I like it a lot. Promise of reunion. That's a really cool illustration here. He keeps the handkerchief, which doesn't look all that bloody, but I think that's the candy wrapper from the candy that Gary gave us. So yeah, that's it. I don't think there's much else to discuss here. I think I relayed a lot of my opinions already in this playthrough about how cool this is. Gave some discussion points about what the story could entail, pieces of backstory, what's up with Gratena, and themes of parenthood and childlike innocence and the sort. Yeah, there's a lot to it. And I had fun, definitely. So, yeah, I guess that's gonna be it for this stream. As I said earlier, I might come back later for some fight night, but it is getting kind of late. As I said, my my sleep schedule is kind of shit, but I do still want to follow that structure here for Week of the Wicked, where 2 episodes for these 3 games, you know, give them the spotlight they all deserve. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to mention. So take care, everybody. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you later for more fun. Bye bye.